John. I'll introduce you to my team members, Frank, Steve. We have one more team member. He can't make it today. He's actually on a business trip in Nelson, and he did the marketing, sales, business model for us. The rest of our group are mainly software engineering background. I have some software engineering management background as well, some entrepreneurial skills as well. So today, I'm going to spend some time going over what will basically revolutionize the industry, utility industry, utility providers and consumers interact with each other. And actually have a demo that's running if anybody's interested at all. Just pass that around. It's basically a prototype showing it running in Android operating system. That's the biggest market share right now, like 90% of the market share of the application. So utilities, most people use utilities. It's one of those things that everybody has to do. It's not something people want to do, but it's a painful necessity. Today, consumers and providers have many difficulties interacting with each other. For consumers today, we actually have consulted 20 different consumers of various utility services, both commercial and residential. Here's what we know that we have to talk about. There's no centralized place to enter, scan, or track use. There's no centralized place to promote conservation. There's no centralized place to compare use to others. There's no centralized place to search, compare, review utility providers. There's no easy way to generate reports on usage. For providers, you know that after talking to several utility providers, including for town water and sewer, slate and oil, and in addition to, I did these slides, we usually talk to two other water company providers in the area, Aquitaine Water and Halsted Water. Another resource that we consulted was the Massachusetts Department of Environmental Protection, the Water Management Act program. We had a contact there. We were able to talk to them about ways that could improve tracking use and also conserve water usage. So for providers, is what they found lacking in the industry. There's no centralized place for advertising consumers. I mean, there's a lot of the bigger providers have their own websites, that's right. But the majority of utilities are town water suppliers, small utilities such as oil, propane providers. Have little or no web presence, no way for consumers to search for what they sell. There's no centralized way to promote conservation. Today, many people just sort of take utilities for granted. We only have something they have to pay at the end of the month. They don't really track the usage over time, over a year or 2 years, to see how well they're doing, how they're comparing to others. There's no centralized way to gauge competition as well, and no easy way to apply to consumer feedback. And that's really prevalent nowadays. Nowadays, states almost force utilities to provide some sort of feedback. So it'd be nice to improve that. Next, I'm going to hand it off to Frank, and he's going to go over the consumer UI.
So we started this venture kind of going into it as, okay, we need to provide a utilities-based application. My role is really just trying to come up with some user interface screens. So we put up some wireframes to start out with, and determining how the user interface is going to flow, what kind of data we want to provide, what kind of data we want to collect. From a collection standpoint, what do we want to do with that data once we've collected it, how we want to use it or interact with our screens. So we have a login screen. The purpose of a user login screen is to ask the user if they want to be a user type user or a provider type user. Based off of that setting, the user interface would behave differently, or the app would behave differently. The account types that we offer for login, you could have a Facebook account, you could use your Facebook login. You could just have a standard user password login if you'd like. The idea is that you can come back into the application whenever you want, and your data will still be there. After you've logged in, there's a settings area, there's a edit use area, an analyze use area, and a search providers area. In the settings area, it kind of gives you a breakdown of the type of user you are, how many individuals in your household. It kind of goes through and just ask you certain questions that will allow us to provide you the user interface that you require. The utility types, we're going to have several different types of utility types: electric, oil, and water, gas, and the billing cycle data as well.
We're also 5 minutes.
Steve, I'm going to pass it over to Steve. Steve's going to talk about
What time?
Yeah, they have questions,
Oh, sure.
Q&A, so it's
Okay.
your choice to listen further or just start with your questions.
I was wondering if you could tell us what the end of your presentation was.
So basically what it will solve,